Zona tunga dakika 25 arishiringi 10 zonka nyiga star emwe noti star ibiri emwe hash otoraneho daily bundle ninga kozesa my MTN app ogambe aha bay dondoro aha kuba kuturi kugamba hamwe twine kizibira MTN enkora n'ubushoshoreche nibikuratirwa MTN nerebero rw'ikitongole cya Uganda Communications Commission.
Abantu nyina bakibale Kagadi Kakumiro na hadi hona mutabaruke habwo kuba yansika ruguza egabude obone baletera mibazi yona eyabusireyira ikarano bya Kampala manya Kenya manya Dubai no gitoza hati nurekeraho genda mu batyasika ruguza yona emibaze roho okukebera omubiri gwono komanya na kyorwaire byona byabusa iwo kwenda kukebera computer kwigule ebinywa kandi inyo bakasitoma babo abakuru inyo bakubahereza special care bakusubuza green tea habeya yo musubuzi okuterwa mutwe kuterwa mutima ekiriroliro mubiri kuruma no kuzimba ebigeri ulcers hanija sukari pressure kusanyarara omusujja ogutakira kurumwa mugongo kuruma munda amani geksaija nage kazi toine iwo karwara amaino habo kwani obo kabakuletera mbazi gwa amaino okubakweta high quality toothpaste bakusemereza buhereza high naiwe buli kya baraza babahunya marunda town council hasanyuka bar and lodge kandi kuruga kya kabiri kya kasatu kya kana kya katano kya mukaga hamuna kya sande baba karuguza ha office zabu enkuru ha muhanda gwa kikada waruga stand big bank hakona house ne kyapa kibahoja kwa no kirora genda akasenti ko gule mibazi niko bakwijanja bokire abo kumanya bikiraho baza nabo haziro msanju munana mukaga 13 04 00 na 0740 kenda na 5 10 23 yanshi together we share.
For how Chinese bantu baingi muno ohulira kyansimba hano nkwata hamugongo ekifuba kikuremera oburumi munyingo mu baitu hati wekwata ba for how Chinese bano ni bayijanja banokira kimo ebirwaire no biraga nenkoro yawe yekikugu baine byoma ebya meridian therapy nibikonyera okwigula ebinywa kutereza emigongo alinywa bakusasa nibakumara mu busasi bona bwino munyingo hati nywa bakuzimbe bigere mugende mubayikire nibakora handwereza maiso nibajanja basukali harusazi okwetaga kusara size okendezo munyeto gwine oine kizibu kyo kusanyarara hamuna inywa bateirwe stroke niba batereza ni mugaruka okurungi muno abafo how Chinese hano mukaruguza basange amuhanda gwa kizizi ogugenda ha vision hakyombeko kyakona house haihine ichundiro lya magiteri yaka opposite Millennium Guest House rundi baterera namba ze simu 0 kinana na mnana msanju na msanju asatu na mnana na 0 mwenda nkaga na ibiri kinana na isatu anna nemu for how Chinese hamuno bwijanja byo burungi.
Esaha zikire ibire zekiro ohulirize Kdr 10 fama akaire kanu nikakuleterwa
MTN voice bundles ezikutera network zona habei dondoro migasita 10 ibiri mu hash rundo yekonyeza my MTN app okome mu daily bundle habo kuba butukubaza itwena titukwemerezebwa. MTN Uganda Limited nerolerwa Uganda Communications Commission.
A very good evening. It is exactly 8 p.m. My name is Deo Asiimwe. I welcome you to this broadcast of KDR News. Now the detail. Kivale Grade 1 Magistrate, His Worship Derek Kamanzi, has remanded 2 suspects to Kivale government prisons on charges of gruesome murder of a businesswoman in Kivale district. The suspects are Geoffrey Segawa and Leonard Mukisa, all residents of Kasungwa A village in Kabasekende sub-county Kivale district. Prosecution today told court that on the 21st of this month, while at Kasungwa A village in Kivale district, the suspects allegedly murdered one Korodina Mohewe of the same village, a wife to Anakereti Kahwa. According to the brief facts produced before court by the resident state attorney, the murderers tied the neck of Korodina while still alive with a piece of cloth. and dumped her into a running water of Nyamususu swamp, where she died of drowning. In the dock, the suspects were not allowed to take any plea because the court lacks jurisdiction to such capital nature offences, which prompted the magistrate to remand them to Kibale Government Prison until 13th of next month for mentioning of their case. The same court has remanded a 28-year-old man identified as Godius Nasasira, a resident of Bijogoro village in Nyamarunda sub-county, Kibale district, to Kibale Government Prison on charges of aggravated defilement. Presiding over the court session today, the Grade 1 Magistrate Derek Kamanzi heard from prosecution that on 12th of July this year at Bijogoro village, he performed sexual acts with a juvenile aged 8 years whose particulars have been concealed because he is still a minor. Brief facts produced before the court by the resident state attorney show that the mother to the victim, Rosette Kiasimire, returned home from the garden and found her daughter crying. When asked, the victim narrated the ordeal and her absence. During her absence, one Nasasura, the neighbor, called the victim to his house and defiled her. In the dock, the accused was not allowed to take any plea because the court lacks jurisdiction to such cases, which prompted the magistrate to remand him until 13th of next month for mentioning of his case. Now, the residents of Nyamarembo B village in Buikara sub-county, Kagadi district, have protested the eviction of the National Forestry Authority NFA from Kangombe Forest Reserve. During a community dialogue held in Nyamarembo village, Buikara sub-county last evening, the aggrieved residents asked the World Voices Uganda, a non-governmental organization, to help them get justice following the eviction from part of the forest reserve which they claim ownership. Residents are accusing NFA for extending boundaries of the Kangombe Forest Reserve into their land, asserting that they were born on the contested land and have no alternative settlement areas, also asking government to help them get justice.
Katungamu ekiziwe ekyabahekera mu mwaka gwa 98 abantu bona twayiruka twagaruka mu town itwena twarugambi banje bitu Nyamarembo twagenda mu town. Then just of recent NFA tukajja kuhura nijja kutwara amataka g'abantu agatwasigireyo abantu agabajaga mbalimamu already tulimamu twayirukira mu World Voices Uganda tuyambe World Voices Uganda yatuhaloya
nonke mwaka gwa shanwe nagumu nayishira mu itaka ry'itu Nyamarembe rindiri kwenka ririmo muzere wanje yamara yafu yarensigamo twatayirwa bahekera eje 2005 2005 hati anyuma yaho ngone kutwagarishira mu itaka ry'itu amazima garigo hati amyaka mice beja bagama ngo itaka rya government ngo tukavamo forest turanga bundi government ejerebe itaka ry'itu muri ngo gubari tweremo gari tari ry'itu tumayo ngo tirirye
baja ngo tururugemo hati nico niko kweyambisa government ngo tuyambi etugaruzi itaka ry'itu.
Speaking to our reporters about the matter, Speak Resistem, the head of legal services at World Voices Uganda, says someone who settles on land for over 12 years is entitled to compensation upon eviction, and that the residents who have lived on the land for a stipulated time must be compensated. He says that World Voices Uganda will investigate the matter and ensure that the aggrieved residents get justice.
Mateka netandika kukora ya 1995 omuntu akamaraho emyaka 12 otakamubingireho no kimanyaroho atakusasura empoza rundo obusuru rundi empangisa ogwo omuntu obwo kuba nojja kumubinga haitaka lyawo oyine kumusasura ebintu byaye byakoreireho na muno hatinka NFA busahe iteke likwikiriza kubinga omuntu oteine compensating no kuba no yenda kulikozesa no kubera government ine kubasasura esente ezikwingana ingana ne itakeryo niko abantu abo bakarugaho government kafuna obusobozi obwo kulikozesa kurungi kibe kitulesere muno kulikumanya abantu banu bali mu itaka lya government rundi lya NFA rundi itaka lyabu NFA kugezaho kubatahira twayikiraniza kurungi habo kuba twije na abasaveya nabo aba NFA hamu no wa district to harmonizing rundi.
The executive director, World Voices Uganda, Gad Benda Ntegereze forced NFA for carrying out demarcations and eviction without prior sensitization of residents. He, however, expresses the need for dialogue and reconciliation.
Itwe nka World Voices Uganda tukataho mu nshongezi hanyuma y'abantu akuruganya marembo aho bijiraha batandika kweterera nduru ngo aba NFA bariyo ne baturugunya manyaba inamahe bariyo ne bakora kindi bababingo mu bimataka gabo kandi ngo bariyo nibigize migorora narishi emitano eyabire tariho kare bari kugize mu bimataka gabo twashangwe NFA etabanza yashitema n'abantu kabashoborura no babiri bakora emitane kureba ngo bakabereka kurunji na map zone bakazireta bakazibereka ngo ahangu tukaba turabaha kandi map zikora zite icyo ngo hakabamo obuvuyo NFA nagira ngo baryo mu kibira bari bagira ngo angu NFA riyo netahire kibira cyito so twatahamu kugira ngo turebe twabagarukanisa twareba n'ince kituzi ka NFA tekamara agabinga abantu kurwo mu kibira especially abire bandi bakorera mu kumara imyaka n'imyaka nini yakuterera abantu aho babirindo businje bareke abatabashagaraza niko enshonge twantu tuzitahe muje mu kikuru.
Now, police in Karangura sub-county for Port City are holding Mbusa Byamukama, a 20-year-old man, for allegedly raping Maria Kabakudi, a 104-year-old woman. According to Vincent Tresige, the Rwenzori West police spokesperson, the incident occurred last Sunday and was reported by Moses Wambale, a security guard at 3 Stars Nursery and Primary School in Nyakitokoli Village, Karangura Sub-County for Porto North Division. In a statement released by Tresige today, Bwambale heard noise in one of the classrooms at around 3 p.m. while on duty, and he discovered the suspect raping the elderly woman. Bwambale immediately called the police, who arrested Mbusa. Inquiries into the matter are still ongoing. 4 of the 5 anti-corruption activists have today morning been brought before the court of Nakawa Chief Magistrates Court and has granted bail to the 4 of the 5 anti-corruption activists arrested last week during the March to Parliament protests in Kampala. They are NTV and KFM radio presenter Faiza Salima, aka Faiza Fabs, Thomas Kanzira, Bernard Olupot, Ewalu, and Edgar Hamala Balo. Ewan Aljab Musingzi has not been granted bail due to irregularities in the documents presented regarding his residence. The activists were arrested last week for peacefully protesting against corruption in government, including parliament, and were subsequently remanded to Luzira prison. The activists have been charged with being a common nuisance, idle and disorderly. According to the charge sheet, the accused on Tuesday at Oasis Mall, Nakumat, in the Kampala district, did an act of gathering together while shouting, "Anita Among must resign," and littering placards bearing the same words outside the Oasis Mall, Nakumat, thereby causing annoyance, obstruction, or inconveniences to the public in the exercise of common rights. However, court ruled that the 4 of the accused had fulfilled their requirements for bail, including presenting substantial sureties. Now, the Uganda Investments Authority Director General Robert Mukiza has put the State Minister for Investment Evelyn Aniti on the spot for misrepresenting a meeting with the British High Commission at Kampala that never was, and also orchestrating cyber harassment against Dubai Prince Sheikh Mohammed Juma Al Maktoum. The July 23rd, 2024 letter making rounds is copied to President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's principal private secretary, the Minister of Finance, Uganda Investment Authority Board Chairman, the Attorney General, and other Uganda Investment Authority staff who received the honorarium payments the minister had directed should be refunded. Mukiza stung the minister for peddling several lies. Mukiza says in the letter that after being asked to receive the Dubai Prince and also accompany him to the Heroes Day celebration where he was given an award, this did not augur well with the minister. The Uganda Investment Authority Director General also accuses the minister of lying that she had personally met with the UK High Commissioner to Uganda who had directed that the money be refunded. Mukiza explains that it is common knowledge that generally United Kingdom embassies across the world don't involve themselves in micro-managing projects funded by the UK, and particularly the British Commissioner's Office does not at all interfere with the day-to-day running of the projects funded by the United Kingdom Export Finance. He adds that the number of the projects was signed between the Uganda Investment Authority and Standard Chartered Bank and not the British High Commission Office. The Uganda Investment Authority Director General has asked the minister to resign for fabricating lies and subsequently be taken to Luzira over the same.
You are still listening to KDR News Broadcast. This is the news on the international scene.
For the news on the international scene, an arrest warrant has been issued for Liberia's former finance minister for following allegations he was involved in a $500 million equivalent to 389 million euros corruption scam. Samuel Tway, along with 4 other senior officials in the former President George Weah's administration, have been indicted for allegedly stealing from the government when they were in office. Tway, who was previously sanctioned by the US for corruption, has called the indictment a politically motivated witch hunt against him and other former officials. The Weah administration, whose 6 years in power ended in January, was plagued with allegations of corruption and financial mismanagement. The tonight is 14 minutes past 8 p.m. As I wind up the newscast, a quick look on the top stories once more. 2 suspected murderers remanded in Kigali. Residents in Puikara sub-county protest eviction from forest reserve. 4 of 5 anti-corruption activists granted bail and arrest warrant issued for Liberia's ex-finance minister. That's it. My name is Deo Asiimwe. I wish you the best of your night, and please keep this.
From all over the world, local, regional, national and international, Kdr FM brings you all the stories. Kdr FM News, world's proudly sponsored by MTN.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. Baby, how come you never call me? But now with MTN, I have a daily voice bundle. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo. MTN voice bundle, yeah yo, baby dondolo. MTN voice bundle, yeah yo, baby dondolo. MTN voice bundle neza bei dondoro okutera network zona tunga dachika 25 arshiringi 10 zonka nyigasta emwe not star ibiri emwe hash otoraneho daily bundle ninga kozesa my MTN app ogambe aha bei dondoro aha kuba kuturi kugamba hamwe tuine kizibira MTN enkora n'obushosholeke nibikuratirwa MTN nerebera rw'ekitongole kya Uganda Communications Commission.
Abantu nyina bakibale Kagadi Kakumiro na hadi hona mutabaruke habwokuba byansika ruguza egabude obone baletera mibazi yona eyabuzireyira ikara nogya Kampala manya Kenya manya Dubai nogitoza hati nurekeraho genda bugenda mu batyasi karugusa yona emibazo eroho okukebera omubiri gwono okamanya nakyorwaire byona byabusa iwe kwenda kukebera kompyuta kwigula ebinywa kandi inyo bakasitoma babo abakuru inyo bakubahereza special care bakusubuza green tea habeya y'omusubuzi okuterwa omutwe kuterwa omutima ekiriro liro mu mubiri kuruma n'okuzimba ebigere ulcers hernia sukari pressure